Hello, today we'll be checking out a couple of events across the globe, including a unknown event near New Jersey on the 5th. Starting over in California at 6 a.m. this morning local time, just west of Ridgecrest, or also near Bodfish. There was a magnitude 3.6. Now this had 63 Digifeel reports. I think it had 50 like an hour ago. Checking out the shake map, an MMI of 1.5 went all the way into Bakersfield. Coming over to the Nevada-Oregon border, we've seen quite a few earthquakes for the past 24 hours, 14. Checking out this activity for the past 30 days, it does have a lot of activity, however, it does seem to have picked up. So here in Illinois, or on the Illinois-Missouri border, just south of St. Louis, and just east of Barnhart, there was a magnitude 2.5. This was today at 2:32 UTC. This had 275 Digifeel reports. It also had a Digifeel level of 4. Checking out Washington events for the past 30 days, or new events for the past 30 days. Right here near the Oregon border, or just west of Kennewick, Washington. Today at 13:25 UTC, there was a magnitude 0.7. Now this is interesting as there's not near any other activity for the past 30 days. It also looks like it was right underneath train tracks. It also has a reviewed status. Checking out Central America, we continue to see just magnitude 4 activity. Now this has continued for a while now. Now today at 5 a.m. UTC, there was a magnitude 5.2 just off the northern coast of the Philippines. This had a shallow depth of 9 kilometers, especially for being out in the ocean. Now there were 40 Digifeel reports to the USGS. Coming over to the event page on the EMSC, there were 50 Digifeel reports. A lot of these Digifeel reports just say felt, however a couple of them say strong. You can also find the EMSC has the default depth of 10 kilometers. So just about 3 hours ago off the east coast of Taiwan, there was a magnitude 5.1 at 30 kilometers depth. Now this had 4 Digifeel reports to the USGS. Coming over to the EMSC, we can find 7 Digifeel reports. And it looks like all these reports say pretty slight shaking. Coming over here north of Iceland, we saw a magnitude 4.4 yesterday at 2200 UTC. It's at a default depth. Looks like this was on the Mons Ridge, or Moans Ridge. Checking out the Big Island of Hawaii, there has been 23 earthquakes recorded in the past 23 hours, the largest being a magnitude 3.6 near Kilauea. Coming over to the latest Mauna Loa update on HVO, we can find that the lava flow is 1.8 miles away from the highway. They also mention the flow has advanced only a small distance since midnight. They mention this is possibly due to a significant breakout removing lava from the channel. Coming over to the NHC, looking at the Atlantic, we're still looking at this storm has a 50% chance of forming into a cyclone in the next 2 days. In the update, they mention it is still a large non-tropical area of low pressure. They also mention it is somewhat better organized and still producing lots of thunderstorms. Coming over to Windy, it doesn't look like this system has any kind of forecasted track to it. Also on Windy, we can find this system just off the east coast of India. It does appear this system will be making landfall about Friday. Now finally, coming over to NOAA, looking at the past 24 hours of X-rays from the sun, we've seen about in the past 8 hours a slight uptick in solar flares. At about 1300 there was a C5. Now since there's been minor C flares, but just a repetition of them. Looking at the past 7 days of solar activity, we can see there was quite a lot of it up until about the 5th or 6th, and now since the 6th there hasn't been much activity, and now today with about a 24-hour gap we are picking up again. So here's a website, New Jersey 101.5. We can find an article published yesterday, and they are showing lots of data from people reporting feeling rumbling, possibly an earthquake in New Jersey. We can find many people reporting shaking, vibrating. You can find this article, the military did not comment on whether or not they caused it. They mentioned the Rempel fault line stretches more than 185 miles from Pennsylvania through New Jersey and into New York State through the Indian Point Nuclear Power Plant. Well, that's interesting that they just happened to mention that. Now, looking at this picture here, it looks like a felt report was December 5th at 1744 GMT or UTC, and that was on volcanodiscovery.com. Now, on the USGS, we can say, let's list the past 7 days of all earthquakes. And coming over to New Jersey, we can find no earthquakes listed. So, coming over to Raspberry Shake, we can find A1D Raspberry Shake Station in New Jersey, possibly close to where this event happened. Now here we can just download all of the data from the 5th to the 6th. Of course, we can do that after we specify our station. So pulling up the data for this station and checking around 1744, which is when that was reported, there is no specific signature that looks like it could be an earthquake, but there is lots of noise. Now, also looking at the spectrogram, there is no specific noise in the lower frequency range. This is also the SHZ channel, which is about half the sampling rate of the normal EHZ channel. Thank you for checking out today's video. Stay tuned for the next one.